Hey YouTube, you already know who it is. It's the one and only. And I'm back with another live video. I'm bored. I ain't really got much to do today. Ain't planning on doing nothing today. Ain't got nowhere to go. God damn it. This is getting on my damn nerves. Shit. Anyhow. So, with that being said, I figured I'd come back on and try to get through this book, Soulacoaster, The Diary of Me, by the one and only R. Kelly. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, be notified. Share my videos with friends and family, and keep your comments, thoughts, and opinions to yourself if they're negative. I don't have the time for it. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure I am not the only one that is going to speak on this man on my YouTube channel. You got people reacting to videos with him on it, people still doing videos referring to him. He just did a jail interview with two women. Fuck y'all and y'all opinion. At the end of the day, I'm not the one who did it. At the end of the day, I fuck with the music. I grew up listening to his music. And just because I listen to someone's music does not mean I have to condone or tolerate what they did or even agree with. Hell, I'm a big Aaliyah fan. And that's a whole nother damn story. Anywho. So we're gonna get back to Soulacoaster, The Diary of Me by R. Kelly. And we left off on a chapter by the name of Hope. Once again, this book is pretty controversial. I know I already had to read some very crazy things. I don't know how furthermore I have to go and read in crazy stuff. We're just going to see. Some kids were scared of the streets, and with good reason. Some kids were scared of the playgrounds where the bullies and gangbangers acted like they ruled the world. But none of that scared me, not even after I was shot. Instead, I was scared of the classroom, scared of being called on, scared of everyone learning that I couldn't do what they could do, read and write. No one wanted to learn more than me, and no one seen any more trouble. The minute the bell rang, I ran out of school like a bat out of hell. I couldn't wait to get to the playground and find me a game of basketball. One day when I was 11, on my way to hoop, me and some of my homies got cornered by thugs looking to steal our lunch money. I wasn't about to get messed up over lunch money, so I gave him my change. One homie, though, refused. It's my goddamn money, he said. Without even hesitating, two of the gangbangers slashed his face with a broken whiskey bottle. That's when I knew I made the right decision. I spent the rest of the afternoon at the playground working on that jump shot that still wasn't right. Every year when we were growing up, there was an amazing event called the Bud Bulletin Parade and Picnic. Coca-Cola had a float, McDonald's had a float, Jesse Jackson had a float. Entertainers waved at the people, singers sang, musicians played, and there was funky music. good food, and good times. We look forward to the parade every year. It was our Disneyland, like Walt Disney was coming to us. You got to see all kinds of celebrities if you were lucky. Everyone, mom, grandma, all the aunties, uncles, cousins would start out early setting up their little chairs and crates with their cars and beers and wait for the parade to come by. It was an all day free party night. It was an all day free party right out in the street. The parade started at 35th and King. And when we lived on 40th and King, me and my brothers would follow the parade all the way to the end. I went to all the barbecues and picnics and looked at all the floats. I saw all the performances. I was inspired by the parade. I got to see a lot of artists who performed on floats. New Edition, Belle Biv DeVoe. Everybody wanted to be in the Bud Bulletin Parade. Excuse me, Billiken. I'm sorry. Um, Years later, when I was about 15 or 16, I sang for Lionel Richie. He was performing at the parade that year, and everybody. I'm sorry. He was performing at the parade that year, and somebody had told him that I could sing and write songs. He asked him to bring me over to meet him, and he asked me to sing him something I wrote. I can't remember what the name of the song was, but Lionel Richie offered me 500 on the spot to give him the song. Now, at the time, I was so broke I couldn't even pay attention, and 500 was a lot of money. But even back then, I knew that my work was worth more than that, so I turned him down. I always wanted to be on the float performing like the groups that were famous back then. I would be in the crowd floating, following the floats and waving. In 2011, I felt truly blessed to be the honorary Grand Marshal of the oldest and largest African American parade in the country. As my float rolled down King Drive, I pictured my mother sitting in her chair with the rest of the family and her friends watching the parade go by as she had for so many years. I wish she could have been there to see her son wave to her. I always loved music and I always loved basketball. In those days when I was hooping, you could always find me at Washington Park, Madden Park at 33rd or King Drive. Madden Park was where the big boys hooped. The older guys were much stronger than us kids, and they played harder. They banged. I always wanted to play with them. I never wanted to play with the guys my age. I knew if I played with the older guys, the game would get tighter. So I called next, meaning we got the next game. But once we got on the court, we regretted it because the older dudes didn't play. They were rough. They didn't care nothing about our age. They were out to win at any cost. They hit hard. I saw many shoulders dislocated, knees shattered, heads smashed on concrete. I got banged up so hard I couldn't help but be nervous. But I knew the only way to get over that was to keep on playing. I missed a lot of shots. I threw the ball away more times than I could count. Sometimes the bigger guys literally took the ball out of my hands. They frustrated me until I was ready to quit, but I never did. One day after a rough game, this older guy came up to me and said, "You know what you're doing wrong, young fella." Yeah, I missed a lot of shots. I'm throwing the ball away, and they're taking it from me. It's more than that. He said, "You're chasing the game. You're not letting the game come to you." Don't know what you mean. Well, you need to know, bro. You need to stop forcing your shots. You gotta find your groove. Will that get me points? It's not about shooting the ball in the basket, he said. It's about being positive. Dude had an interesting way of talking, so I kept listening. Plus, he saw I had something. He believed in me. His name was Robert Reed. The other guys called him Hope. At that time, Hope was on his way to becoming a neighborhood legend because of his street ball skills. His mother and my mom were very close. She lived right across the street from us. Hope was slim and smooth talking. He was about 14 years older than me, about 5'8", with a face like Dr. J. Later, when I watched him on his Robert Reed All Star team, I saw he had Dr. J moves. Hope was a great point guard. He invited me and Bruce, whose hoop skills were sharper than mine, to his place. Hope schooled us. He had reels of NBA films. As we watched the movies, he pointed out subtle moves we had been missing. He talked about going with the flow. Finding the flow, Hope says everything. The game got out of flow. And you got to flow. The art is to let those two flows flow together. Hope knew I was into music, so he kept making musical comparisons. There's a righteous rhythm to every movement, he explained. It wasn't something you, excuse me, it isn't something you create. The rhythms are already there. You tap into it, you ride it, you let it take you where it wants to go. Hope was a beautiful guy. I could feel that his mind was elevated even though I couldn't do anything he suggested. For example, he said that rage always hurts. Well, if I was in a close game and something tripped me on purpose, and someone tripped me on purpose, I went to rage. Didn't know any other way. Control that rage, I told. If you don't, rage will control you. When rage is in charge, your game falls apart. I knew that was right. I seen it happen, but I was still no good at controlling my fits of rage. I I got less angry though when Hope showed me how to finesse my jump shot. After I got shot, Hope helped me work on getting my jump shot back. You fighting that shoulder injury, he said, talking about the that bullying lodge in my body. Don't fight it, work with it. Hope is one of my best friends to this very day. I still respect his wisdom when it comes to basketball. It was because of Hope that I started developing and strengthening my shoulder. Hope helped me rediscover my game. Bruce and I used to practice the moves that Hope taught us in the backyard. First, we nailed the bottomless crate to a pole. Then we moved on up to a bike wheel that we took all the spokes out of. And then we moved on up to a round. We called it playing the dunk a lot. After playing for hours, we went over to 42nd and stayed for the best footlongs on the planet. Polished sausages smothered with onions, flaming hot barbecue sauce, and a mountain of fries. It was all good. All right. So he talks about liking basketball and feeling like that after he got shot, his game wasn't all the way there, and a dear friend helped him get his game back. And then he also talked about parades that he went to as a child and family events and stuff. That's what's up. This chapter is called Till You Just Can't Boogie No More. In Chicago, you love the sweetness of summer because you made it through the meanness of winter. One summer Saturday, the streets were bouncing and the whole neighborhood was dancing to the sound of my brother's Bruce band. Me and my mother were singing Taste of Honey's Boogie Oogie Oogie. She looked over at me looking over at her, smiling all the while. A singing team that had everyone up and happy. Wasn't always that way though. There's a story behind how I got to sing that day. My brother's my brother Bruce's band was pretty cool. Bruce played bass. A guy named Pookie, uh, was it Pookie? I guess was on the lead guitar. Pookie's brothers were also in the band. Al on the drums and Terry on synths. They did all instrumental versions of popular songs. I watched them rehearse on the porch, and I knew the songs that they would rehearse, so I sang along with them in my head. Naturally, I wanted to sing with them, but Bruce would always tell me they didn't want a lead singer. I really wanted to be in that band, but the more I wanted it, the more Bruce seemed to be against it. When it came to anything to do with music, I knew my stuff. For example, Bruce and his band would all tune up at the same time. I'll tell them if y'all tune up at the same time, by the end of the tuning session, everyone will be pretty much off key. Better to tune up one at a time. Get out of here, Bruce said. What do you know about this stuff, little brother? Bro, I said, I could sing. We good, Rob, he said. We don't need no singer. I may have been younger, but I knew he was wrong. They played songs like Cool in the Game's Lazy Night that needed a singer. It was just a situation, oh, where Big Bro didn't want to mess with Little Bro, but Little Bro wasn't going away. I kept bugging Bruce to give me a chance, let me rehearse, let me sing. He kept saying they wanted to do only instrumentals. Finally, I went to the boss, Mom. When I told her story, she was really feeling me. After all, she was a singer too. She told Bruce, if you don't let Rob sing in your band, there ain't gonna be no band. Bruce had a choice. He told me what songs he wanted to he told me what songs he wanted to sing, and I was ready. Except for one thing, I didn't know all the lyrics. I'll have Lizette write the words out for you, said Bruce. Lizette had good handwriting, and she printed the lyrics to the OJ's used to be my girl and Earth, Wind, and Fire's Serpentine. What is it? Serpentine Fire? I believe so. Yeah, Serpentine Fire. The words were written on a yellow pad. The letters were big. The words couldn't be plainer, but I had a hard time reading them. I had a hard time reading anything. As I stumbled over the lyrics, Bruce and the other guys saw that I couldn't even make out simple words. At first, I tried to play it off like I couldn't really see them, but they figured it out. I think Bruce saw this as a way to keep me out of the group. I got embarrassed because I thought he might be right. If I can't read, how am I going to be able to do this? So I stopped singing and left. That night, our mother saw how sad I was. What's wrong, baby? I told her about how I made a fool of myself. No child of mine is a fool, she said. It's just that music comes easy to you and reading don't. What you need to do, son, is listen to the records and get the words directly from the singers. Memorize the lyrics from the record. Then you don't have to read. All you gotta do is sing. And your singing is something no one can make fun of. I did what my mother said. I learned the words from the records, and to make me feel even more secure, she came out there so we could sing side by side. We sounded as good as Taste of Honey, maybe better. Once I learned all the songs, it got to the point where we would plug in and sit on the porch and play the whole block. What? And play, and the whole block would turn out with people coming from everywhere just to listen to us. Growing up, Bruce and I were close. We get into all kinds of trouble together, in spite of the fact that in the beginning we didn't want. I mean, in spite of the fact in the beginning he didn't want me in the band. We'd act up with all sorts of pranks. Sometimes we played with our food. Our mother hated that, but you know how boys are. One night, mom fixed us her traditional soul food dinner: ham hocks, pinto beans, cornbread, and greens. I liked it all except the greens. Couldn't stand greens. When my mother went back to into the kitchen, Bruce and I started messing with our food. I stabbed the greens with my fork, flicked them up, and just like that, they flew across the room and stuck uh, up against the wall. Mom didn't notice them that night, but the next night with Grandma at the table, she did. Who the hell threw those greens against the wall? She asked. Bruce, I said, pointing at my brother. Rob, said Bruce, pointing back at me. One of y'all is lying, she said. I want to know which one. Bruce is lying. I said, I'm telling the truth, Bruce. Shot back. Rob's lying. Robert would never lie, said Grandma, my scrunchiest defender. I mean, what is it, my staunchiest defender? Anyway, if she hadn't said that, maybe I would have confessed, but I didn't want to look like a liar in front of Grandma. She had me up on a pedestal. Okay, said Mom. If that's how y'all want to play it, fine. I'll be right back. She went to the yard and came back with a switch. Don't worry, Rob, said Grandma. He never do nothing like that. And if he did, he'd never lie about it. Stay out of this, Mom told her mother. This here is between me and my sons. Mom next turned to us and said, pull down your pants. Right here, I asked, right in front of Grandma. You heard me, boy, right here. It was embarrassing, but we did it. We stuck all our little boys, and Mom started whooping us. First Bruce, then me, then back to Bruce, then back to me. It got to her so bad I finally blurted out the truth. Okay, I confess. I was the one. I threw the greens. Go to your room, Bruce. She said, Rob, you stay here. Before she started whooping me again, I looked over at Grandma and saw the sad look on her face. I had let her down. Meanwhile, Mom was more furious than disappointed. She took that switch and let me have it twice as hard. When she was through, I could barely walk. Now get out of here, she said, and get in your room. Think about what you did. Think about what lying got you. And Rob, if I ever catch you lying like that again, I'm going to. And Rob, if I ever catch you lying like that again, I'm giving you an even worse whooping. You hear me, son? Yes, me, I said. Oh shit, he got that little ass tore up. All right, so that's all I feel like reading right now. I'll be back another time. Please like, comment, subscribe. I gotta take my breaks because y'all already see I be fucking up. I be mispronouncing shit, fucking up. So I gotta take my breaks. But I'll be back another time. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll get back to y'all later.